on this one, okay? I just want to point out that this remains a key level and it can come at any moment, okay? If we have some kind of sell-off like this one. So the problem is I cannot say where it's coming from, the dump, okay? But I can say that this level here is crucial, okay? So this range here, basically if we lose it, if you guys remember, I told you we are into a market maker selling model here. Okay, so normally we are supposed to have another redistribution to the downside. And then we have what we call a smart money reversal. Okay, this is what happened at the top. Usually, when you have the buy origin of a market maker buying model, the price tends to stay for a little bit and then gets away. Okay, here and here you have the exact same. Okay, this is a very important concept that you need to understand. Okay, so what happens is that you basically accumulate and redistribute, accumulate, distribute, okay? And then you create what we call an AMD, okay, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, paired with a market maker selling model, okay, which makes perfect sense. Once the price comes, once the top is decided, then we are into a selling program, okay? So in my opinion, we are still into a selling program. I will try to explain it as simple as possible. So my extremity here is 84K, okay? I will not make it complicated. I will go into the indicator here. Okay, so we have what we call a weekly market structure shift. Okay, so what happens when we have a weekly market structure shift? The price is supposed to come back. So imagine this is a 1 minute chart. This is a model I'm using on lower time frames to take 1 minute, scalps. So market structure shift on the weekly. So the price comes back inside the gaps or order blocks and then continues to the downside. So now why I choose this level here? What I really wanted was another redistribution like last week or this week around these levels. Why? Because the roadmap would make sense to me. Okay, so now if they decide to send the price at 84K, which is the level that makes sense to get a reversal, so structure-wise a lower high on the weekly, etc., etc. What happens is that it actually makes in the beginning it didn't make sense to me, but now it makes sense because you want the price to come back, fill the gaps, okay, and then naturally come back. As long as we don't have, in my opinion, a market maker buying model, we're not going to reverse into and project ourselves into higher prices, okay? So I will let the price do whatever it wants. So the key levels I have here basically are 76 and 200. But if I start calling for every key level short and we get stopped, you will insult me. But I will be honest with you, I will try all these levels, okay? So first level is at 76, 241 for me. Okay, we have tons of liquidity around this level, so it's impossible to say if they're going for the equals or if they're going for the flats. So the closest level that makes sense are the flats here, okay? Inside the supply. It makes perfect sense, okay? So the thing is, let's say we reverse from here, okay? What are our expectations, okay? I would like to get a short into the box here. Okay, this is the main POI I gave you where we have a long waiting. If you guys remember, we do have the call in the channel. Is around 64-ish. Okay, this low is supposed to be protected. Maybe we continue to the upside. I would like to get a pullback so we can take some longs that make sense and not just ape into longs, because at the same time they're short squeezing. At the same time, the risk to reward here becomes worse and worse as we're approaching short levels. Okay, so this was a range that has been very hard to trade compared to this one. I explained why. Is because we want it or not, Bitcoin is still expensive, but it lost half of its value since the top, and it makes sense for the price to pull back. But at the same time, we know that we are not bottomed yet. Okay, so taking positions and having a bias is very, very hard. Lots of confluences are not respected. Okay, very rare occasions where we have an actual higher low, etc. So this is where we have a little bit of a clean price action. What happens before is just random stuff. Okay, because I tried to trade all these levels, it was pretty hard. Here we see a behavior where bulls are taking a little bit the upper hand, which is okay because this would, if we only had the selling program all the way down, that would mean that it's an actual shit coin. So it makes sense, and I'm happy this happens actually. So first level to look at is 76 to 100, basically. Okay, and for me, the ultimate short is here. Okay, it can happen tomorrow after FOMC, whatever. Okay, but I want you to take in consideration these trades here. Okay, the one is already shared in the channel. I can share it again in the chat just for you guys to remember. Let's say these are the new range highs. If we pull back here, so basically we have tons of liquidity, okay, to be taken. And people do not expect a drop here. For me, it would make sense. We go into a run, nice pullback. Okay, it doesn't matter for where it comes. What I can guarantee here is that we are supposed to, the highest into this range, the highest probability is to get this trade right, the highest. Okay. So I do, if you want to take a conditional trade, you can wait for a higher low to form some kind of market structure shift. It's not going away without you. You have time to take it upon confirmation. I will place a limit order because we have so much engineered liquidity here that the reaction will be, in my opinion, instant. Unless market makers go again into a heavy selling program, which will lead the price under these levels here. Okay, if we lose these prices, don't start aping it to longs around here. This will not be the answer. In a psychological perspective, basically people are waiting for 48k. I'm saying they are going to front run 48k, coming to the weekly flats here, stay 1 or 2 days, and maybe we got the last redistribution before getting what we talked about before, an actual buy origin here to start having a real distribution to the upside. So if this happens from here, so be it. But for me, this is not the bottom. Okay, for me, the bottom comes around 32k. Everybody's looking at 48 and 38, which makes sense. But I'm saying if I look this as factually as possible, the price is supposed to come around these levels. Where is it? Okay, so if I take it from 2000, why I'm talking about that now, because we are approaching this level very fast, guys. So you have to be ready to react. Basically 2020, okay, it gives you a 786 fib, the most important, around these levels, 32k. This should be the answer. Okay, so I'm looking basically for a sweep of that, if I can call it a doji, I don't know, it's not a doji candle, but this is where I'm aiming for the bear market bottom, basically. So we have time. Now, if the price comes this week or next week or in 2 weeks around 84k, for me, it makes perfect sense to take a swing short. Okay, 84k. Maybe just, we have plenty of flats here. I will take the trade around here, close to the market structure shift level, and I will actually trade it to 53.5k. Okay, this is an amazing trade. This high is supposed to be protected. So basically what happens, you need to leave some space in case they want to manipulate the price. And as soon as you get, some kind of break of structure, okay, so that means you have a break of structure again on the daily or on the 4-hour time frame, and then the pullback, you see the rejection, you can add to your trade massively, in my opinion. and then move stops to the high made after the market structure break. Okay, this is, and this, then the risk to reward changes, but you need to leave the trade open in the beginning. You've seen me like very often doing that, taking the trade with a large stop loss and then coming back once I believe the trade, like the high or the low, is like safe. Okay, so around these levels, it makes perfect sense to get some kind of relief. So 64K remains a major level. Okay, here, major level, and I would like to see tomorrow or maybe this week after the FOMC. I don't care where the price comes, something like that, because a lot of people forgot this level. I keep my eyes into this level still, and then we go around this level around next week, I guess, and then we go we hold the trade um, to 50K area basically. Okay, this is a very good plan. All we need to do is like not ape in too many trades. Okay, we really need to wait for these extremes. So also we do have these flats here on the daily, which are very important. They will get swept, and maybe they will front run the gap, in my opinion. But I will keep the stop loss very high in the beginning, let them do whatever they want, and then so people are expecting the same fractal here, as you can see. I guess you've seen in the on X everywhere, everybody is expecting the same fractal, which actually makes sense, but I don't think market makers are that stupid to repeat this action unless they're really trolling us here, okay? But I do not see that happening. So yeah, let's talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is looking very strong, very simple. ETH against Bitcoin. Okay. Usually when this happens pretty much is getting out of this range, is reclaiming. I was talking about this level that was important to sweep, and now you can see that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. That leads, by consequence, altcoins. Okay, Bitcoin dominance goes down, altcoins, money is rotating into alts. Alts have bottomed. I scanned like 40 altcoins today. Everything looks very nice structure-wise, okay? We had CFX is one of the most interesting I saw today. TWT, I don't even know what the fuck is that, but basically the structure looks pretty much the same. So what you want to see here, okay, you would like to see a body candle closing. If they do that move, I will be pissed off. Okay, so either you ape here if you want to take a leveraged trade, anticipating this type of move, or you wait for the actual market structure shift, pull back, a very big classic, and then you might get another run. The problem is that sometimes they don't wait for you. Okay, or you have to wait way you have the market structure shift, and then you have to wait for way too long to get into the trade. So you are on extreme discount here. The slow grind here looks very nice. So normally, since everything is bottomed, we should see some kind of relief. The problem with the altcoins though is that Bitcoin, as we discussed, is not bottomed. Okay, so when we had in 2023, which was my best year, this is where I made all my money. Because Bitcoin was on a rally. It was bottomed, and altcoins followed up. Here, I don't think we are into the bottom. I give like a 5%, 10% chance maximum that they run it from here to new highs, if I dare to say. Okay, so if this happens, we already know what levels we are looking at, but a bear market is a bear market. So let's go back on ETH. I shared a trade today. I changed the actual trade into a swing. It looks like they don't want to give it, but a pullback is supposed to come soon. Okay, what happens is that we have a hard stop loss. Okay, 1983 is the stop loss. We are looking for a pullback after the shift. here. Okay, it's on the 4-hour. We have a break of structure, obviously, on the 2-hour also. So this is a very obvious break of structure here. You are supposed to see a kind of, at some point, a pullback. This low here, these are supposed to be protected, in my opinion, because we saw volume inside these candles, okay? And when you see volume inside the candles of the accumulation, these are the lows that are supposed to be protected, okay? Just don't forget we are still in a bear market, so it makes things dangerous, okay? But if you're a trader, it makes sense when you have a breakout. So basically, this is the level we are looking at. And why we are focused on Ethereum is because it's outperforming Bitcoin. So we had many taps into this very important level here, okay? You can see that everything is connected between this level here, okay? Everything makes sense. And basically this was a level to flip, okay? So we had many taps, more taps, we have resistance weakens, then we smash it with a very big candle. This is a very good indication that Ethereum is going to continue going up, okay? And this is where we are approaching the short area, okay? We have tons of liquidity. This is where I'm aiming to take profits and start looking for serious shorts on Ethereum, okay? So it's going to come at some point, and this will be the level we are looking at to take, it gives you the value area high here, okay? So that means that Ethereum is looking for a new value somewhere else. It will come back, retest it. Now we just broke out of the value area high. And now we are going to see what's happening, okay? Let's see if we get a profile here. We have another one. So we have, yeah, this is an interesting level, the low volume node here, okay? This is how we predicted Bitcoin falling from 98K because we had the low volume node. This is where you should be looking for higher time frame reversals. And Ethereum is the perfect example here, okay? I think this is where Ethereum is going to top. So 2787, 80, yeah, 2775. This is basically where we are going to top, in my opinion, before continuing down, okay? So expect the price to come up, and then in between these levels, we are going to see something. So we have the break of structure. I would like an immediate pullback with an absorption, this can happen during the FOMC, okay? But for now, we respect the pump, okay? We don't need to be bearish as fuck because we already pulled back so much. So we need to have some, some air to breathe. And then we are going to continue shorting, okay? We need to respect that. If they want to nuke on us, so be it. I cannot control this, okay? It's very hard. Okay, so I want to apologize for yesterday's scalp. I got stopped in all my exchanges. I went too tight into the stop loss and then it pumped. So, okay, never mind. I should fix that and going a little bit for larger stop losses. Okay, so I think I pretty much summed up everything about especially Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you have any altcoin requests, you can ask me. Also, we are bouncing off an immense cipher here on Solana, but still I'm not convinced about everything. I'm really looking at 51.5. We already discussed that we had these daily equals here, okay? So we have more liquidity around these levels. This chart doesn't speak to me yet, okay? I'm not really convinced on how to take the decisions. There's just one thing I want to point out. One last thing about Bitcoin is that basically what you saw here that was super confusing for everybody happened back in 2024. This is pretty much what we saw, okay? This type of consolidation after a big candle. normally translates into another leg up. The only difference is that here we are into a bull market, okay, and here we are into a bear market phase. Okay, so that's why I didn't just ape into a long like that. I prefer to take extreme levels and be cautious with the longs, basically, okay? But we are approaching very, very important levels to take fat positions and just go to sleep without needing to day trade every day. Is like just be patient, you know, to take some fat positions like that. So be ready, okay, for these. We have our fibs, everything is lined up for a nice short here. So let's see. Okay, do you have any altcoin requests, anything that you would like to see that is interesting for you? 2 days ago, I closed that euro. That was the best actual forex trade I took on euro. I saw it coming from miles away because of everything that happens with DXY, big manipulation phase, and then pretty much fast, you know, results and delivery on the daily. So I closed that trade. I do see it going back down, but I'm happy with the profits. Also, gold starts looking a little bit, you know, toppy here. I do see, you know, gold at 6K, but I don't know when and how. But I think we had a very, very good run here on gold. So when the peacemaker Americans decide to do something, I guess we will see a crash on metals, but not quite yet. It will happen, but a little bit slowly, I guess. Same for silver, very strong. So nothing much to add about this. I'm looking for some pullbacks around some important levels to take fat positions. When I trade metals, I go with fat positions. I don't go with low positions. I just go with a lot of money on these trades. I just wait for the perfect opportunity. Okay. So I guess I said everything. If you guys don't have any questions, I think I can go, right? Yep. So no questions. Thank you very much for being here. So take in consideration the trades that we talk about. Basically, the most important ones are the one at 64-ish, okay, under these lows. 84K, 76K remains a nice level to take maybe an intraday short, swing short, swing long, and then once we arrive at 54K area, maybe we have the last distribution to the downside. Front run 48K, so the price can go back to 51, 53K. It is possible, but the thing is to catch the trade around this level. So if we lose that, we will have to search for new plans. Okay, I don't have any plans for here yet, but the good thing is that Bitcoin will be at 30K, guys, and this starts being really, really cheap, and this is where everybody should buy. I mean, even if it came from very far away, makes sense to start buying a little bit of spot again. Okay. So thank you very much, guys. Have a good night. Enjoy, and see you soon.